I want to tell you how to maximize your sessions so that you can maximize your progress. Okay, and there are a few things that we can do during the session that are going to help with all of that. Okay, so number one is making sure that you're doing the exercises correctly. So it's very easy to get caught up in the motion and just go through the movements and just doing certain things. But if we're squatting, we want to make sure we're squatting low, we're doing it correctly, and we're really engaging those leg and those glute muscles so that we're really firing through those muscles. If you're only going to squat halfway down, you're missing out on so much muscle activation and you're not kind of maximizing your session. So you want to make sure you're doing the movements correctly, and that's why we're out in front showing you how to do them. And when we do them, like, we want to see, get really into it. If it's a squat, get as low as your body will let you go. If you struggle to do it, we're going to notice it, and we're going to be able to show you how to correct your form and how to really engage the right muscles. Same thing with crunches, or if we're moving a lot, you want to really get into the movement and really make sure you feel it through the right muscles. And like I said, if you don't, tell us so that we can show you how to really engage through those muscles. So there's that. So doing the correct movements. The next one is making sure that your intensities are high enough so that you're outside of your comfort zone. You don't want it to be easy. It's not meant to be easy. If you feel like when you finish a session, if you feel like you could go do another session straight afterwards, you haven't pushed hard enough in that session. And that's why we're always trying to turn levels up and make things a little bit harder for you, whether we're pushing you when you're doing a squat, or we're making you work through the break. Whatever it is that we're trying to get you to do, it's to make sure that the intensity is high enough to keep you outside of your comfort level. If you always stay within your comfort level, then it's very hard to make progress because you're just doing what your body's used to. You want to try and break that cycle and always be pushing that little bit harder so that you're going to get something out of it. So whether it's working through the break or saying, hey, you can turn my bum up, you can turn it up a little bit. It's a bit too easy for me. And then knowing that when you finish the session, you're like, oh my God, I don't think I can definitely go do another session after that. Like I'm cooked. Like that's what you want to aim for. The next thing is making sure that you're engaging the muscles at the same time. So this kind of touches on the first point where I said don't just go through the motion. It's not just moving your body and letting the impulses do all the work. You really want to try and engage those muscles as well. So that's where all those little muscle fiber tears come into play. If you just go through the motions and you're not really pushing hard enough and you're just moving, you're not really contracting enough through those muscles, the impulses that the suit's creating is going to do a fair bit, and you may still feel like it's really intense. But if you engage those muscles yourself as well at the same time, you're going to maximize that muscle contraction, which is going to do way more. Okay, so if we're doing a crunch, make sure you really squeeze your abs as hard as you can, crunch all the way down. If we're doing a squat, make sure you squeeze those legs, you squeeze your bum, and you drop low into that squat, and you really try and feel it. And then, like I said before, if you don't feel it or you're not really sure what muscles to engage at certain points, let us know so we can tell you and we can show you how to do it so that you can maximize that session. But there are a couple of things there. So if you find that progress is either slow or you're not achieving the results as fast as you would have hoped, there are a few things that you can do in the session to make sure that you're maximizing the time that you're in the studio, because you want to be able to do that. You want to come in, hit it really hard, know that you've had a really good session, and then leave feeling on top of the world. You don't want to leave and be like, oh, I probably could have pushed harder. Yeah, so there are a couple things. Like I said at the start, if you want to watch the full video, there's a full 40-minute video on breaking this whole thing down with me showing you what to look at, what to do. So I'll link that as well. But just in this little video, I wanted to touch on a couple of things to implement in your next session just to make sure that you're pushing harder and we're making sure that you're getting the most out of your sessions.